Welcome to Rust. All right, everybody. This is gonna be a intro to my Rust series. If you guys are gonna follow along, we're starting here with the new user experience. For those of you who haven't, I definitely suggest, whether you're new or an old user of Rust, to download the public test branch. That way you can get into a server like I'm in right now, which is called an aim train server. Now, these servers give you free guns to practice your shot, your aim, and get your settings correct before you enter into the actual game. Now, the best thing about doing this is you don't want to get into the game and start progressing, and then finally, when you get to a point where you can have a high tier weapon to use, you finally go to shoot it, and immediately you're outclassed, outgunned by someone that has been playing since launch. So this is to cater to the newer user or someone who is coming back from a break, because there have been changes in the Rust settings and the Rust mechanics. Because back whenever this game first launched, for those of you that have been here that long, you know that the vertical axis, the y-axis, in other words, used to be really slow in comparison to the X. You could move side to side really well with your right stick, but you couldn't go up and down, which is a huge problem with trying to control recoil, because traditionally on FPS or first person shooter games, you want the y-axis to be lower in sensitivity than your x-axis so that you can have finer control on your recoil, as well as easier time running around keeping the center of your screen aimed and pre-aimed at head glitches and stuff like that before you even aim down sight. And I'll demonstrate that right now. One tip that I have, a quick tip that I don't see many people knowing about. Most people, they joke about the hipfire dot. It's a company that launched an LED that you could basically adhere to your monitor screen in the center where your reticle would be, and that way that you would always know where the center of your screen, and it really helps snipers in a lot of games, but in general it helps everybody. So one tip that I have is get you a piece of paper, scrap paper, the non-sticky side of a post-it note. Any piece of paper really will work here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out the smallest little shape, square, circle, doesn't matter. What a hole puncher, if it's, if you're playing on a big TV, a hole puncher would probably work. But other than that, you definitely want something really small to where you can still see the sight picture of your iron sight. See the post in the middle there of the AK. So just big enough to basically, be on that where you can still see the edges of it. And you're gonna lick your finger, pick up that little piece of paper with your wet finger. Sounds weird, guys, but trust me, it works. And then you're gonna lick it one more time once it's on your finger. Hopefully you don't end up with the paper on your tongue and eat it. I don't think that's good for your nutrition. It won't hurt you, but anyways, you're gonna lick it again, and then you're gonna stick it. You're going to aim down sight on your screen, and you're going to stick it into position. You can move it a little bit while it's still wet, and then once it dries, it'll be stuck there, and you can fingernail it off or whatever later if you want to watch a movie or, want to do something else. So having that known, you can do that even right now, just so that I can explain this better, because you'll be able to see my exact center. You see how I'm kind of, the center of my screen is right at that head glitch. It's right at this wall where someone could be standing, right? Like if they're crouched, you could still see their head with the reticle. And that's basically what you want to do around the entire map. I see a lot of people play like this, or they'll run like this. I don't know if it's because gym class told us we run faster when we look down, or what it is, but you definitely don't. The game mechanics allow you to run the same speed whether you're looking up, down, or all around. So, yeah, you definitely want to keep your screen ready for action. It saves milliseconds when you're getting ready to get into a gunfight. The next tip that I have for you is definitely get this welcome pack or whatever it is, the deluxe digital deluxe version of the game, to where you can actually play in the test branch server. And then come in here. It's gonna be hard at first, especially if you're not warmed up. But what you're gonna want to do is come in here and just hip fire people from just about any range that you can, right? And this is assuming you already know the recoil pattern. There's plenty of Google images. If you look up the gun, type in Rust, you can find that will show the recoil patterns of guns. And then usually if it shows the pattern like this, where it goes up to the right, it needs to be flipped vertically and horizontally. The picture does, because what you want to do is you want to get the picture to where it shows you're going to go down to the left and then down to the right a little bit, and try and get that down to where you can get a little circle like that. And then once you have that down, you come into aim trainer and you hip fire people using that same pattern. In this game, the hip fire is the same as the ADS. And if you can hip fire from these ranges and learn the sensitivity to where you can spray transfer. Let's say there was a guy at that backpack. You can shoot this guy and then shoot that real quick. Get your hip fire sensitivity, so your X sensitivity, to a comfortable position for you to be able to do this, that, you know what I mean? Just get comfortable in a hip fire environment. You don't even want an ADS like I'm doing here at all. Get that comfortable, and then once that feels good, then you can go ahead and move on to some, I'd say after an hour or so. I like doing this. After an hour, then I'll work on doing some aiming down sight. But until then, you definitely want to work on this right here, guys. So in the order that it goes down, you actually want to make sure that when you back out to the home screen, you can adjust these aim assist settings. You want aim assist slow down, and you want target compensation on. But the aim recenter is only helpful for 2-3 different guns, and they're not the ones that are in this this trainer, to be honest with you. Semi-autos benefit the most from aim recenter, but what we want to work on right here, guys, what I have is digital boost. You don't have to copy that setting. That is because I play on a lower sensitivity, so that I can turn around quick enough for my liking. I like to turn around quick. If I didn't have that on, it would look like, hold on, let me find the boost. Okay, that's where it starts to boost. So if I put my stick over this far, this is what my sensitivity actually is. And then this far is my digital boost. And that's pegging or walling my controller all the way to as far as it can go. So I like having that on just because I know when I'm hip firing people or shooting people, aiming down sights, I'm not going to be moving my controller all the way to the edge, to the wall. Less is more when it comes to aiming, and that's in most games. Less is more. But you do have to interact. Otherwise, you know, this game has very, very hard to control recoil. It's predictable once you learn the patterns, but it's pretty wild, the magnitude that it goes from side to side or up and down. So yeah, like I said, about an hour of just hip firing, and make sure you can transfer accurately. You want to kill at least 2 people with 1 magazine. That's 30 bullets. It only really takes 3 bullets, sometimes 2, to kill in this server. No matter what, like 2 to 3 bullets, pretty much dead, unless you're using this bad boy right here, the LR. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5, usually 4. But yeah, learn the recoil of your gun, get your X sensitivity right. Make sure you can turn fast enough for your liking. Put on digital boost if you need to. And how you change that setting to fine tune it is the boost multiplier. You see I have mine on 155%. That means that when I do push my analog stick far enough on the x-axis, it will initiate a boost of 155% of this sensitivity that I have here. One of the most important things that I don't want to leave out here is dead zones. So if your controller is older, if you're playing on old gen, whatever you're on, usually it's 18 is the 18% dead zone is the maximum I would play with. Otherwise, I would find a fix for it, for the stick drift, or get a new controller, because anything between 6 and 18 is really usable. Anything outside of that, not really. Below 6 just doesn't exist. Even brand new controllers won't register inputs that are less than that value of 6. So, and that's just that's hardware. So, right there, I just got joked. But at the same time, you definitely want to make sure you focus on getting that dead zone as low as you can have it without it having a negative effect on your map. Is how I usually do it. I go in and I look at the map and see right now I'm jiggling my sticks, so I'm pressing the analog, and then I stop. And if it doesn't move at all, then I know I've done right. If it starts to do that number right there, then I know I need to raise one of my dead zones, or both of them. So yeah, guys, hopefully these tips help you. If they do, let me know in the comments. Let me see some quotes about your progress. I want to hear that you guys are out here getting 4-man feeds. But yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Peace.